Let's see one. Gentiles. Okay. Japheth. No, 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 no. See this? This is interesting. Okay, first and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakahak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, whom I learn from each and every day. Excuse me. Healthy shalom to the brothers out there doing the work in truth and sincerity. All right, many sources say Satan rules the world. This is interesting. I typed this in because I'm just coming off of Elder Malcolm's video he did about these wicked ass JEUUs, you know, the 1948 small hatters. All right. So I typed this in right here. You know, of course, you saw the first video of the brother Arrows of Indignation. He put that up yesterday, going into you know, all the I mean, you know, I don't know how to say it, all the unalivers. Really, the main problem is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, and that's what the problem is. So I'll put what, and this is Gronk. All right, I use Gronk. I need to download Chat GPT and start using that. But whatever, what nationality of people, I meant to say, if people, yeah, it was a typo. All right, rule the earth right now. And is there a scripture that supports this? Okay, should have pulled up Job 9 verse 24, but it pulled up a lot of different things. So let's read. This is in real time, according to biblical prophecy and various interpretations. No single nationality rules the entire earth right now. Well, you know, again, I'm gonna have to stop using this, but we all should know by now who rules the earth. You know, who owns the banking system. Let me see if I can rephrase this and get it to say what I wanted to say, and get it to say the truth. However, the current era is often described as the times of the Gentiles, until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, right? All right, period, where non-ish Gentile nations hold, well, non-ish Gentile nations hold dominion influence over the world affairs, including control or tampering over Jerusalem, what? And broader geopolitical power. Well, that would be the Edomites and the Amalekites, which are the 1948ers, the small hats, are the head of the Edomites. Yeah, it's that simple. All right, this began with ancient empires like Babylon and countries and continues unto the prophesied in times. Okay, well, who's in control? We might as well just go ahead and grab the scripture. Let me see if I can let's do this. Who is this scripture talking about? Let's see, let's go to Job 9 and verse 24. 9 and verse 24. In context, the verse is part of Job's response to friend. It's not. It's not telling us. You're not telling us what the truth is. Okay. Anyhow, I'm gonna take this a whole different route because again, you saw more receipts. The Elder Malcolm's video that he did. You know. Talking about the percentages of the people, because Esau Edom loves to do that shit anyway. Slovakia. He continues to do that constantly, and he'll go into statistics and that big fat lie, that racist trope. That so-called blacks are 13% of the population, and they've been saying that shit since the 70s. All right, and it's been thoroughly debunked by the Hebrew Israelites, not the black Hebrew Israelites. Thoroughly debunked, right? And I've been watching real close about if they're gonna come out with any statistics, seeing as on the brink of Captain Kirk's death. That's what I call him, Captain Kirk, right? Upon his death, all this rhetoric about you don't know what you've done and this and that, blah blah blah, and that damn Michael Jackson concert. What was it, the Captain Kirk Memorial, memorial, right? It looked like a damn WWE Michael Jackson concert. It's something, man. It was weird. It was crazy. Trump disrespected. Not a tear come out of his, Captain Kirk's wife. Cheering and shit. It was strange. Anyhow, let's go to Amos 1 and verse 11. All right. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So what did the scripture just say right there? For 3 transgressions and for 4 Edom, which in fact is the so-called white man, which Job was describing. Job 9 and verse 24, the earth was given to the hand of the wicked. Go back to Genesis. It tells you that Esau Edom had dominion, and he's going to live by and die by the sword. All right? What is it the scripture talks about? This will be with flames and with burning of fire. Let's go there. I'm sure if I quoted that scripture correctly. Yeah, I believe this is it. All right, let's go here. This is not what I wanted. Well, I mean, it fits. Isaiah 66 and verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind. Well, that's the spirit. All right, to render his anger and with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. And we were just going into that, arrows of indignation, right? That's what the scripture said. They're all gonna bend their bows against Babylon. All these nations' weapons are pointed towards America. All right, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many, right? Okay, that's not exactly what I wanted. This shall be. With flames and with burning. Yes, sir. That's what I wanted out of the book of Isaiah 9 verse 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. See that? This place is going to be on fire, and the shameful spewing is totally happening towards Esau Edom. Okay? Psalm 73 verse 6, their pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence cover them as a garment. What violence cover them as a garment? Keep me from the violent man. Let's get that right quick. Yep. Well, Psalms 140 and verse 2, verse 1. Deliver me, O Yahweh, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man. You saw those receipts in the beginning. All right. And there's something else I want to pull up too, with Nero at the UN talking about speaking of peace and safety. We all know what happens after that. Verse 2, which imagine mischief in their heart, which is your mind, continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adders, poison is under their lips. Salah. Verse 4 reads, keep me, O Yahweh, from the hand of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have purpose to overthrow my goings. And again, in that memorial, you had these damn dogs, man. In that memorial, you had one of the speakers, if you will, with his little speech or whatever, talking about we're going to defeat the dark. And look, that basically he was talking about defeating the Israelites. He said, you are nothing, you have nothing, and we will defeat you. That's what he said. Plain and simple. He said that. All right. Let's go here. Let's go to Genesis. Yep. Let's go to Genesis. This is what I want. 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou one blessing, my father? Bless me. And Esau Edom is the so-called white man. Even me also. And you should know this by now. And everybody should know. As a matter of fact, regular Jakes are starting to call out Esau Edom by name. See that? Amalek. you know, and Amalek is the whole, the whole issue anyway. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah said, I'm going to have war with Amalek from generation to generation. All right. Oh, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept like a bitch that he is. That's exactly what he is. He's a sniveling little bitch. All right. Excuse my French, but that's exactly what he is. He's a punk. All right. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. So when we went to that grunk, that AI or whatever, that's a flat out lie. Because the scriptures just told you. It told you Job 9 verse 24, which I fed into that AI. All right. And and everybody and their damn mama, and even AI should know this, right? That who rules the world right now? Yeah, you got it, Esau Edom. Okay? He was given the dominion. We're reading it. And by the sword, by what? By the sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off his neck, off thy neck. Salakia. And Esau, what? Hated it. Salakia. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob. Hey, you got Salakia. Oh, you see that? Oh, I'm sorry, I got rid of it, but that was a biometric palm print door opener. All right, all this is coming anyhow. You got these hangings in Mississippi. You got these things going on in North Carolina, right? You've got this big push, on the far right, if you will, Esau Edom, which basically is 50% of the country. Right, and don't get it twisted. These other Edomites, you should be aware of all Edomites. Okay, you never trust thy enemy, as the scripture said. But these ones on the left, they don't have your best interest in mind, neither, Jake. You got to understand these things, man. You never trust thine enemy. They're all wicked as hell. When the scriptures go into it, what I just read there in Genesis 27, Esau Edom is a whole nation of people, man. Okay, that rule the earth with with a continual struggle, and they never let their foots, off our necks, man. They furthered our affliction. Okay, let's go here. I got a couple other things I want to pull up. Again, I want to pull up the a couple things that Trump said in his UN speech, and you can see the tension in the room, man. The tension in the room and all the rest of these nations, man, they were looking at him with total disgust and hatred. They were looking at Jeremiah. This is all prophecy, man. Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, all the nations are mad, man. They're all pissed off. Esau Edom through his pride, as the scripture said. Book of Obadiah and a lot of different places. Pride goes before destruction, right? A multitude of scriptures. But it's like Esau Edom's pride. He don't think his ass is ever gonna go down. You can see it. Let's go. Let's get this scripture before I read that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There. It's like it. It's in Psalms. Yeah. Here it is. Psalms 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. You got America, Africa, Asia, basically everywhere, man. And then in the small microcosm of that is your New Yorks and your New Mexico, right? Washington, all that shit, man. Fucking devils, man. Matthew 26, verse 52. Then said Hamashiach Yahushua unto him, this is red letters, put again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. All right. And again, in the beginning, the Genesis of this video right here, what you see. All right. All this talk of this and that, and the blacks and the 13% and the illegals, the illegals and all the crime that they're doing and this and that, blah blah blah. What is it? It's just projection, is what it is. It's Esau Edom projecting what he does upon everybody else, like the bitch that he is. I can't stand Esau Edom, man. So let's transition and let's watch. I think it's a couple minutes of this speech that Nero, and it is bullshit, talking about the job market's up. This he said the blacks and the Latinos. He had the nerve. He said the blacks and Latinos have more jobs and are doing better than they ever have. You can't make this shit up. Check it out.
Yes. The future belongs to sovereign and independent nations who protect their citizens, respect their neighbors, and honor the differences that make each country special and unique. It is why we in the United States have embarked on an exciting program of national renewal. In everything we do, we are focused on empowering the dreams and aspirations of our citizens. Thanks to our pro-growth economic policies, our domestic unemployment rate reached its lowest level in over half a century. Fueled by massive tax cuts and regulations cuts, jobs are being produced at a historic rate. 6 million Americans have been added to the employment rolls in under 3 years. Last month, African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment reached their lowest rates ever recorded. We are marshaling our nation's vast energy abundance, and the United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world. Wait.
See that? There's Nero's he's a fucking liar, man. That's a bold-faced lie, man. So I just looked it up real quick. Let's see. Come on now. There it go. This is one of 39 pages, man. New release, Bureau of Labor Statistics, right? What does this say? What does this say right here? We'll just go to this chart. Chart 1, unemployment rate, seasonally adjusted, April 2023 to April 2025. And he said that just in 3 years, right? This is the what? Unemployment rate. So let's go April 20. Let's see. The unemployment rate it was just below 3.5, right? April, June, October, January, April, July, October, January. What does this say? 2025. That looks like it's going up. That's unemployment rate going up. So this guy's he's a fucking liar. Now, the scriptures very, very, very plainly tells you this. Let's go to it. What does it say? The grinding is low. Okay? Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 1. Remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, and while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. What did it say? The grinders cease. Okay, so yeah, there ain't no jobs. There's nothing out there. It ain't like back in the day where you just travel around on a bus or whatever and go and dress up a little bit and interview for it. Nah. And that reminds me of something. One of the brothers has said this, talking about it's going to make it so much easier for Esau Edom to deny you because of your name. You know, not even that. You know, even on most of these forums, they're going to ask you, what's your nationality? You know, are you black or white or Hispanic? Right? It makes it easier. So when they see a damn Letitia or Trayvon, see, or a damn, you know what I'm saying? When they see that, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. Matter of fact, people have done studies and shit about that. Even the sound of your voice. Verse 4, and the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up, the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And that damn sure is happening right now. Drill music, and it's terrible, man. Country hip hop. All right, you know. So even in Nero's little speech right there, he's trying to make it sound like, you know, Babylon. Hey, we on high, we doing good, everything's fine. No, it's not. In the middle of civil war, man. You know, he basically calling for civil war. All right, and again, this is all prophecy, man. They all calling for civil war, man. That's what they want. I mean, you got maggots, you know, make America white again. All right, you got them saying, I'm ready. You know, I just got a brand new AR. You know, they're locked and loaded, and believe me, they are. Okay, they ready to go. All they waiting on is a damn order from Nero to go ahead and, you know, and they already, the racial profiling has been upheld by the Supreme Court. All right. So to you Jakes out there that, you know, think somehow or another you going you know, win the war with Esau Edom, when that's part of his damn blessing. We just read it. You saw you wrong. You do err not knowing the scriptures. Okay? Isaiah 33 and verse 6, knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy time. Strength and salvation in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 22, and suddenly, so the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall be found empty. It says suddenly, and the trumpet shall not give a sound, which every man heareth. Its words gotten out. See? They shall be suddenly afraid. And at that time, friends shall fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape. That means something has got to be happening. See? Even Isaiah 4 and verse 1. All right, and see my salvation and the end of your world. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So when they, you know, again, when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to disappoint this devil. You know, you can see him scrambling. You can see, you know, again, you go back and watch that speech, you know, from Trump, man. Hey, that whole room was. You could feel the heat. See what I'm saying? You could feel the admiration for Nero. Job 5 and verse 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. You see that? That's their NWO, what they want to usher in and bring in, and they think they got their finger on the pulse. Well, really, honestly, let's be honest. A regular Edomites, you know, the two-time losers, right? Man, they got sort of a shitty deal. I mean, I'm just being honest about it. They really did. They got sort of a shitty deal, you know, seeing as they ain't got shit. You know, they're poor, deprived. You know, it's still they're not in trouble as other men, but that's changing. You know, and all that, and they still. Ain't got shit, you know. Even though the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and they've received, they've received benefits, you know. But the lower, but they their asses is going into slavery just along with the damn higher ups. So they got sort of a shitty deal. And the water to you, how about Shem Yahushua? All right. Verse 13, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So yeah, this place is through. Esau, Edom is through. The rest of these nations are through. 2/3 is through. Everybody's through. They through stew, baby. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai. And every chance you get, chant this place down. Kwam Yasharala and Wa Abai Babal. Shalom.